Hello, and this is the video to show you the answers to Quiz 6 to kind of walk you through in case you had any issues or got tripped up on any of the questions on Quiz 6. So if obviously you've taken Quiz 6, you will notice that questions 1 through 4 did not involve the data set, and there were answers provided to you. If you have any questions about the answers that were provided, or if you're still confused, please let me know and we can talk that out. But starting in question 5, you will start to see that you had to use the data set, and that's what we're going to start with here. So question 5 is kind of a review from Module 5, and you're asked to recode the variable marital. Marital is right here. So again, remember when you recode, you need to see how it was originally coded. So 1 was married, 2 divorced, 3 separated, 4 single, and 5 widowed. And the question asked you to recode this into 1 equals married and 2, 3, 4, and 5. So divorced, separated, single, and widowed were all collapsed and coded as 0 and labeled as unmarried. So remember, you always go to transform, recode into different variables. You right click, get your variable names, and you see marital right here. And then what you can do, let me pull this over. I recoded as recode REC marital. This is recoded marital status. And change old and new values. Remember, always hit sister and user missing and system missing right off the bat. Let me pull that so you can see it. The original value of married was 1, and it's going to remain 1. And then the values of 2, 3, 4, and 5. So the range of 2 through 5 are now going to be recoded as 0. You click Add, click Continue, click OK. Let's see, you can close this out. Then you can scroll down. You should see the rec marital. You'll come here, recode the value as 1 is married, and 0 is not, or is unmarried, or not married. Okay? And then if you want to make sure that you have this, you want to run a frequency again on marital here and rec marital, just to make sure it's all the same. So you see married in the original marital had 107 frequency. You come down here, you see married still has 107. The other categories, divorced, separated, single, and widowed, had 22. If you go, 13 plus 1 plus 7 plus 1 is 22. You see that unmarried is 22 here. So you have recoded it successfully. It asked for you to run a frequency on the new rec marital, which is here, or the recoded marital, and tell me the valid percent of individuals married. That would be 82.9%. So the answer to question 5 is 82.9%, and that is how you got there. Question 6 asks you to run a crosstab between the independent variable of a recoded marital and time-based work-family conflict, which is this variable here. So you're going to go to Analyze, Descriptives, Crosstabs. Your independent variable is that rec marital. So you're going to come down here and hit rec marital. Remember, your independent variable goes in the columns. Your time-based work-family conflict is going to be your dependent variable, and remember that goes in your rows. Click on cells. Oops, popped over here. Click on cells, make sure columns checked. Click OK. Remember, ignore that case processing summary table. In here, if you scroll over on this table, this asks you to report the percentage of married individuals that report work-family conflict was actually an issue. So that would be 59.1%. So if you, married individuals, that would be 56.4%. So you go in the married column down here in the yes, 56.4% were married and expressed that they had time-based work-family conflict. Let me scroll down on your quiz. That's what you saw right there. Question 7 asked you to explain the relationship between marital status and work-family conflict. And if you look at these two two percentages, you'll see that they're not very different, and as well as these two percentages aren't very different. So one would argue that there's really no relationship between marital status and whether or not one experiences work-family conflict, because the percentages between the two groups are not that different. Question 8 now has you come in and run a new crosstabs. So you're going to keep time-based work-family conflict as your dependent variable, but you're now going to use patrol or non-patrol as your dependent variable. So you'll scroll down again, ignore that first crosstab, and the question 8 asks you to predict the number of people that are on patrol that do experience work-family conflict. So patrol do experience work-family conflict. That is right here. That is 77%. So that would be the answer for question 8. Question 9 asks you to determine if there's a relationship between patrol and not patrolling and work-family conflict. And if you look at the percentages across the groups, you can see there absolutely is a relationship. So people who do not patrol are more likely to not experience work-family conflict, while the people who are on patrol are more likely to actually experience work-family conflict. So it seems to be a relationship between work-family conflict. Let me scroll down. So that would be question 9 to interpret that relationship. And finally, question 10 is just asking you if the following, they gives you an example and asks you if it's positive or negative, and that answer is provided to you in the quiz. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please shoot me an email or give me a phone call, and have a good day.